What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916 getting down fresh out. And we got a hell of an interview for you guys today. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss the interviews we have coming up, man. I got with me here today Courtney Cross. And boy, she has some stories to tell. She worked at the Bunny Ranch and was the girlfriend of Dennis Hoff for a number of years. And she has some stories, man. So, Courtney, we all want to know, what was it like dating Dennis and working at the ranch?
Oh, well, to be completely honest, it was a crazy experience. Like, there was, just like with life, it was bittersweet, there was good, and there was a ton of bad. You know, there was just, in the sex industry, there's a ton of competition. With dating Dennis, you gotta realize, it's just like with any other big man role where he's got to take care of, you know, stable of women or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
You know, he's got to keep that level of fear in women where you act correct, or
Okay.
not even the level of fear, just that intimidation.
So
or
would
the
you say
manipulation.
was he a quasi pimp?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
To be completely honest, yeah, because there were times that when him and I would be intimate as his girlfriend, and he would slap me in the face. And the first time he did it, he never asked me if he could, and I just couldn't even react. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I literally finished having sex with him crying.
And how'd you guys meet?
My sister.
Oh, shit.
My sister was watching the Bill Cunningham show, and I was working just some 9-to-5 job, trying my best to make ends meet, and I wasn't working. I almost became homeless, and my sister called me and was like, "Hey, I saw this dude on the from the Bunny Ranch on the Bill Cunningham show." She was like, "Why don't you try that and see what that's about?" Because we thought it was a hoax. We thought it was just like a reality TV show,
Okay.
you know, whatever. So I went on the website, didn't even know what a brothel was. Like, my small Texas mind could not.
Had no idea.
Didn't even think to Google what a brothel was.
Oh, shit.
So I apply. Dennis emails me back a day later. "You're perfect. You know, you and I would hit it off famously." He sent me pictures of Cami Parker and was like, "This is my current girlfriend, but if you play your cards right, then you and I can be a thing, and I'll make you very famous." And so from that point, I understood that he was the type of man to want to pit women against each other. Competition, like I said, you know, manipulation. Like, if you play your cards right, then I'll get rid of her, you know? And it was just like...
So was there a typical process that he went through as far as for screening the girls he hired there, or was it he kind of just picked and choose, or referrals, or...
If you could have a naughty conversation with them, then you were hired.
Oh, okay.
Simple as that.
And
if you could send naked pictures, you were fucking hired.
Oh, so it wasn't like a hell of a oh my God, you got to do this and that. If he liked you, then you were on.
If he liked you, if he
Okay.
wanted to fuck you, then you were in. As long as you had a personality, or even if you didn't have a personality, because there were some people that worked there that did not have personality, but they were beautiful.
And did you get along with many of the girls there, or you kind of like everybody out for themselves?
I was in a weird phase at that time. I was 19, was awkward. Mind you, I grew up in a very small town and was bullied most of my life. So I was very just introverted. There we go. So I didn't start getting along with many girls until the end of my tour at the ranch of my 2 years. And then I had a falling. Actually, rewind a little bit. When I started getting along with girls, I started actually bisexually experimenting. And that's when I dated one of the youngest bunnies there. She was 18. And that's how I met one of the famous rappers that is known for, you know, keeping a stable of girls. And I'm sure you can probably put the pieces together.
Put it together.
Of course, you know, Bay Area, whatever have you, you know, come on. And so, you know, that's how I got entangled into getting on Dennis's bad side.
So what did he, when he sensed any type of you know, you having any type of attention to somebody else, he got real jealous? Was he very possessive, or?
I think it was that I'm a psych person. I try to understand the deep-rooted issues. So to me, I feel like with Dennis, it was a power trip. Like, he could only be the one pimp. And so if he found out a bitch had another, if he found out another woman had another pimp, then, you know, he would either A, cut her and blacklist her, or if she made a lot of money, he would have a serious talk about, like, with her, or he would, like, dock her pay or make her email silent.
If she made a lot of money?
Oh, if she's making money, she's making him money. You got to realize they take half of everything. Half of gifts, half of tips, half of your pay.
And he keeps track of everything, huh?
Keeps track of everything.
So do the girls actually stay there and then they just, or do they go back and forth, or do they?
I lived there.
Okay.
For probably a year and a half.
Okay.
And I was one of the few cases that got to, because I dated Dennis during that time, and he didn't really ever want me to go anywhere, and I never really asked to go home. I went home and visited one time out of the year and a half that I was there. And so I think it was more or less he wanted to keep a tight grip on me because I was so young, and he was worried about
somebody's taking you, or he was like,
and I being so young,
you
know, and had just left Texas and had never really visited anywhere else, you know, so.
And while you worked there, I mean, I know there's a lot of different people that came through, and I'm not trying to get you to drop names, but I mean, were there some really like people that you're like, oh, I've seen this person on TV, or oh, I recognize this guy?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. From famous trainers to singers to porn stars to actually movie stars. Yeah, of course, you know.
Because a lot of people like have the misconception that, oh, you know, a brothel, who would ever go there, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of people go because of the convenience and just accessibility and just like no strings attached. You can go there and do your thing. And
well, and also you have to realize is that with celebrities, if they call and let them know ahead, like the Bunny Ranch gets shut down. Like, they will secretly escort them in because discretion is so important. Mm-hmm. You know, with risking it, someone out there, you know, telling their business on the streets versus coming into a professional establishment that they can somewhat feel safe in, I guess. But obviously, sorry, Lamar. You know, the gig is up. Sorry. Yeah. So, you know, but it used to be that way until I think big-headedness, you know, that cockiness got to him.
Was he a regular guy there, Lamar?
No.
No, okay.
No, he had just gone in. I think he had been in there twice.
Huh. And as far as like, I know you get some pretty way out requests. I mean, what's some of the craziest stuff that you had as far as requests from people for sex? Because I've heard, I know of people who just haven't worked in adult entertainment, people who are into scat and golden showers and freaky shit, tie me up and, you know, all kind of stuff.
Well, what one person's crazy is not the other's.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, God, the craziest for me, Jesus, I think I had to shit in a bag. Shit in a paper sack.
That was the guy's like,
and he would come pick it up.
Yeah.
And I never know what he'd do with it. But
oh, wow.
Come pick it up. And then I had a gentleman that would come in. He was a truck driver, and, you know, very masculine, like well built. He took good care of himself and would have me like put a wig on him and do his makeup all glamour.
Oh, wow.
Put him in women's underwear and like caress him like he was my girlfriend and treat him as if he was a woman and then fuck him with a strap on.
Wow. And you know what? That doesn't even surprise me because I've seen some way out shit like that too. Guys who are major real estate owners in LA, and they, you know, I've had requests, hey man, can you pimp me out? I'm like, pimp you out? Like, yeah, man, I'm like, dude, it's like, he's like, yeah, well, can you pimp? I want to be a little hoe. And then ask him your big buddies. I'm like, dude, I'm not the one to be pimping you, but
it's
you know,
not
good
even
luck.
really that for him. You know what though? It's the deep-rooted issue of him wanting to be controlled.
Exactly,
you know, he's
exactly,
the man probably in his wife's house, in his life. You know, so
and he has so much money. That was like a release. You know.
Exactly.
And,
you know.
I've heard a lot of stuff like that, even about people like judges, people who are in high positions, because it's a power thing, and to relinquish that power to feel vulnerable is like it's almost like it's like a fetish.
It is. That's exactly what fetishes are.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
And so you got to realize that when it gets to like certain points for them, that vanilla doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
So
The
they
normal's
have
not.
to
No,
search,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I totally get it because, God, I've gone down so many porn loopholes before. Jesus.
I know. It's crazy. Is there like, has a lot of clients that came in, have they tried to like, get girls like, oh my God, can I marry you? Would you be my girl? And blah, blah, blah. And they like, you got to kind of brush them off and.
To this day.
Yeah.
Yep. But in the Bunny Ranch, Dennis would always tell us, make them say that, like, tell them it's in the contract that we can't.
Yeah.
We can't. I'm sorry. I can't. If you spend more money with me, maybe I can quit someday. And then we can get married.
Yeah. Maybe they keep coming back, and then maybe after the 10th time, we can
exactly.
go from there. Have you had a lot of marriage propositions?
No, honestly, probably 10.
Wow, that's quite a few.
It is quite a few, but I mean,
I know guys, they fall in love with the sex, man, and just say, oh my God, it's like, and they feel that they can talk you out of, like, and say, hey, come with me, and.
Oh man, I just had to fight somebody off recently. One of my fans on my Twitter messaged me and was like, come work for me. He's like, I'll marry you and give you a baby. And he's like, I'll put you on my 401k. I was like,
damn.
You can't. Like, no. Hell no, dude. I don't know who you are. What do you even look like?
Exactly.
What are your mental health issues? Like, what are you going to pass on to the baby? Like, what is wrong with you for you to want to give me some random chick a baby? While I was cleaning rats, too, because I own the reptile store, so I'm cleaning my feeders out and like posting it on Snap, and then he sends me this weird, crazy long message of how he wants to give me this baby, and I'm like, you see I'm working here.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know, like I said, just, having worked around like women in adult entertainment and knowing like how some of these fans are. So I know a lot of the girls used to always have like security and this and that. So you get some guys who are just pretty, they just become like obsessed. So you got to just, really be careful. Was there a lot of girls that, most of them, did they work there for a significant amount of time, or was there a lot of turnover? Or?
Oh, it was so turnovers. Like, people would come for their first week and then they'd be gone.
Oh, wow. So there was really like, you weren't attached to a certain amount of time. You can come and go or whatever.
Yeah, you could come as long as you wanted, but a lot of the girls would get discouraged by being new. When you're new, you have to fight it out. You've got to find out what works for you. You can't just show up and like hope somebody picks you. That's not how it works. You've got to develop something that works for you. You've got to develop your own brand, your own face.
Yeah. So when the guys come in there, do they just kind of like, all the girls come out and the guys kind of just like look and...
Well, when they come in, the door lady rings the bell, and it rings through all the house in the girls' rooms, and all the girls will come running in their heels, and they line up in this little like line, however long it is, and the man will introduce ourselves. Hi, we blah blah blah. Hi, I'm Courtney Cross, and then they'll pick whoever they want. They can pick multiple girls. They can pick, because it's not guaranteed that they're going to have sex with them, because they still have to go to the room and negotiate.
Oh yeah. Okay. Huh.
So. A guy can dream big, but
Yeah.
his wallet may say otherwise,
Yeah. Well, and one night, what would you say is the most you've heard of somebody coming there to drop?
$2 million.
Damn. $2 million one
Dennis
night?
talked about it on TMZ.
That's right. It was $2 million, yeah.
Yes.
So somebody dropped $2 million, then the girl took off with the money, or how'd that work, or did they pay the ranch, or?
No, it wasn't even that instant. So he dropped the $2 million. She had walked away with, I want to say, like close to $500,000. It wasn't $2 million. This guy had dropped it too.
Okay,
because
the client.
He wanted to run a train on a bunch of women.
Oh,
so he
shit.
had all the women lined up at the ranch. This is like a month before I got there. I was so beating myself up for not joining sooner. So I was like, God.
Damn. So he came there ready to party.
I could have seriously not had to worry about anything.
Damn. So $2 million, you divide it up among however many girls there. Each got paid.
Yeah,
That's paid.
That's paid.
Because
even half going to dentist.
Oh
God,
shit!
that's
Because
still
a gangbang
getting
in the
paid.
porn industry doesn't pay that. I mean, a gangbang in the porn industry, maybe girls will get like, I remember, what, $5,000, $8,000, if even that.
You get the right man looking to have an experience, and he'll take you out for $10,000 for 3 hours just to watch you eat.
Wow. Hey man.
I have a longtime friend that I met through the ranch.
Yeah.
And he has supported me through so much. He actually invested in my reptile store.
Wow.
Over half of what I put into it, and that's over $25,000.
Yeah.
just loan. Without a question. Here you go.
Yeah.
Took equity out on his home. So, it's crazy that you can find these people and that people that are willing to just pay for such an experience, or just people just want someone to think that they care.
Well, by you saying that, I remember a friend of mine used to be a bouncer at Scores. I don't know if Scores was like a big club in New York. And one of the girls there, he told me, because he was cool with all the girls, she hooked up with a guy from Wall Street. He told her how to invest. And she basically had invested, and she became a multimillionaire from working there, investing with this guy. She had horses, she had her own ranch, and she pretty much could retire. But like you said, the right person, they kind of tell you, give you some advice or help you out. Because everybody, at the end of the day, game is game. You know what I mean? And if somebody can put you up on game and help you invest your money, then shit,
And if they're investing and it works out, then they're making money too. So it's a win-win.
That's right.
And
That's
good
right.
karma all around.
And they got a pretty girl around them, enjoying that. So
Exactly.
It doesn't hurt.
Exactly. Trust me, I am using my my beneficial looks and my kind heart as much to start as many businesses as I can.
That's right. That's a good idea. Hey, you guys, I hope you got some game from that. Courtney Cross, man, putting it down. A lot of information. Stay tuned for the next interview. Big Hurt getting down fresh out.